Yo, what is up, guys? Marvin Motion here. I'm here with Melvin Motion over there, off in that direction. We also have Marquise Motion, the editor back there, and Margaret Motion, who works in. She
Don't
works
talk to
in.
Markeith.
She works in like. We don't gotta worry about Margaret. She just does her thing over there. But we're back with our 27th podcast, and it's gonna be a shorter one because there's not much news that has happened. I feel like the we got some good basketball stuff to talk about as per usual. Not much gaming stuff has happened. Not much music has happened. And we'll probably do another ranking at the end. But we're gonna start off with some gaming. As per usual, we're trying to get through the other stuff first. So really, nothing has happened in the gaming community at the moment. Marvel Rivals is peaking. It's out peaking concurrent viewers and players than Warzone right now on Twitch. It's out doing Overwatch. It's out doing Valorant, CS:GO. It's top of the boards right now. It's Marvel Rivals has been top of the boards. It's doing good. It's doing good updates. I haven't personally played it yet. I downloaded it. Like I said, I downloaded it. I haven't touched it yet. But if you would like to, as a Marvel Rivals player, talk about it a little bit, Mr. Melvin Motion, go ahead.
Thanks for that, Marvin. I'll take it from here. Yeah, Marvel Rivals has been pretty good. Pretty damn fun. I'm a fan of it. That hasn't changed. They got two new characters. Well, there's four supposed to be coming. The two will be coming a little later, but the two new ones. Mr. Fantastic. Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman going viral. And I mean, this skin, like this full ass out. Big old titties. Cheeks are going crazy. She's built like crazy. I'm trying to hit.
I heard they were adding the joke jester. That was just
I'm trying
rumored.
to fight. Like I'm trying to fight mid fight. I start gooning. I go, I start. It's just porn. Something funny is going on Twitter. There's been a huge fight between two
More.
emotional Twitter groups, and that's the One Piece fans and the comic fans.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I will talk
Because
about this. I will talk about this.
there's some hilarity out there because they have Mr. Fantastic stretches. You got no bones.
Now, you talk about it, and then I'm gonna jump in and give my opinion on it.
I hear you. His game-winning pose is being seen by some as an homage to One Piece, and it's as a media. The game was made in China, Chinese devs, so that's not out of the question. So there are some comic fans are a little uppity, and they took offense to that. And then I think One Piece fans came back and they're rage baiting him
Yeah.
because they said, well, actually, Luffy invented stretch powers. And then the comic fans will eat the bait and go, actually, no, they didn't. The Fantastic Four was built in 1953, was the first comic or something like that. Huge fight. Both sides crashing at each other. I don't know how it started, but I think some One Piece fans said, "Oh, look at that."
Now I know the original.
Referencing
I
One
know the
Piece.
originality of this, where this started, where it came from. I know the whole
Yeah.
lore. So
There's a skirmish.
first of all, let me get some of the stuff out of the way. So, one, I am 93% sure that Mr. Fantastic isn't the first character with stretch. It was the DC character. I forgot his name. Elongated Man. I'm pretty sure he came out before Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
there's
the
a bunch
first
of them,
thing.
honestly.
That's the first one. Two. So what started this was somebody in the One Piece community. I'm pretty sure it was Geo. I don't want to give him credit if it wasn't him, but I'm pretty sure it was Geo. Posted a picture of Mr. Fantastic in the game, doing his like super like puffed out chest, and then posted a picture of Gear 4 Luffy, Bounce Man, and said, "Wow, Marvel Rivals is doing homage to Marvel Rivals." And now, before we go on, the thing with it is why people are saying this is because Mr. Fantastic has never done something like this on this level until Gear 4 came out. There's no chapter, picture, panel in the comics at all where Mr. Fantastic has done the move that he's doing in the game like this, and it's way more comparable to Luffy than it is to the comics, and this is why it became a thing. It was kind of trolling, but it was also kind of serious because there's only been 2 comic panels so far that have been similar, but they're not. They're still not the same as this. And this is what started the argument because they're like, Luffy didn't invent this, yada yada yada. Once it got too blown out, then it started it became the whole troll and foul baiting.
It's a
and
troll
foul baiting,
war now.
rage baiting.
It's
But
kind of funny.
the thing is there's other stuff in Marvel Rivals that is literally One Piece tees. Like they have Chopper, the little reindeer, as a snowman in the Christmas event in one of the in the background of the main menu. They literally have Chopper, the antlers, the pink hat. Like they have him kind of. They have a lot of One Piece cameos.
To
in
me,
this.
and this, I don't even watch One Piece.
They're
It's pretty
definitely
clear
fans.
it's a One Piece homage.
Yeah, it's not
But One
like a
Piece is
disrespectful
the-
thing.
It's like the show of the 21st century in Asia, especially. So this isn't like I don't. This isn't a. Did people taking it seriously is goofy as shit because
Yeah.
this isn't a serious thing. It's an homage. It is what it is. There's like you said evidence that they've done that with that Chopper guy and all that stuff. They probably have seen the anime, of course, and they're like, hey, that looked pretty cool. Let's put that in the game.
Yeah, and
Done.
again,
It's not that serious, but some comic fans are
yeah, that's the
some of
problem.
the older comic fans are really like purists, like anime isn't art. Like we hate anime. It's only comics.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
You get some of those guys.
comic fans going crazy recently because, again, it's like no one's saying that Luffy inspired Mr. Fantastic in the game. They're just saying that this specific move, this specific him puffing at his chest and kind of doing a little bounce thing, is more geared towards a Luffy type thing than a Mr. Fantastic thing. The difference
They're reading some rage bait.
The difference between Mr. Fantastic and Luffy is the way they stretch is different. When Luffy stretches his arm, it snaps back. When Mr. Fantastic stretches, it doesn't stretch back. It elongates and elasticates. It doesn't stretch and just snap back. They have different powers. They're pretty different. They're the same concept but different powers. But again, it's
Luffy acts like he's on like a pulley system almost. Like everything he does is gonna be like impact and come back.
yeah.
Whereas Mr. Fantastic is literally just goo. He just turns into goo and boneless shit. So.
And the other one, just because we're kind of on this comic tangent, was the other one was a very funny one. It was in My Hero Academia. There's this character called Star. She's basically her power is she can make two rules. I'm pretty sure. So whatever she makes as a rule is set in stone, but she can only have two active at a time. So she could basically make a rule that says, if this person breathes, they die. They die if they breathe. Basically, that's how her power works. It's one of those uncanny broken powers. But there's like
there's power scaling in that.
There's a lot of like tangents to it. Like she has to know the exact person's like birth name. Like there has to be a lot to it for her powers to work. But there was this funny comic argument that's been happening recently because it was like people were like unironically Star beats Superman or something, and it started this whole comic war between My Hero Academia and comic fans because again, it was trolling, but they were like Superman couldn't beat Star, Superman would destroy Star, and they were like they said that surround Superman with kryptonite. And it's like, make all the air around Superman's kryptonite. That she could make that a rule, and then Superman's basically. And then they're like, well, what if he's on land? Make the land kryptonite. And like comic fans are getting so mad because they can't keep up with like how busted. It's a broken power.
Make his suit made out of kryptonite.
That's something. It's a broken power. It's one of those powers where it's like it's a broken power. The only reason she like, I don't want to spoil, but the only reason she died was because she killed herself to save somebody else. So it was like it's one of those things where
there's
it's like
an argument to be made, and I haven't watched the show, so I haven't seen it like used expositionally. But there's an argument that's just bad writing / bad power. Like, all right, calm down a bit. You can argue that, but if you want to consider a legitimate power, the Superman, Batman, nobody's touching that because literally they're just gonna. You can think of if you get two, let alone one. One's enough. Two is.
Yeah, My Hero Academia is a kind of overhated. It's actually really good, and it's actually
pretty
not
popular.
bad
I hear
at
a
all.
lot about it.
Yeah, it's the people who hate it are because they hate the main character for being like a crybaby at the beginning, but then like they don't like
Not one of those.
they don't like seeing the progression. Like you're watching a dude, and this is what people don't understand is like it's the same thing with like people who hate Usopp in One Piece. when you're talking about Midoriya in the first 5 episodes when he's a crybaby, you're talking about a kid. This is a 15, 16-year-old kid who was born without powers in a world where everyone has powers. He's a literal outcast. Then he risks his life, saves somebody, he gets powers. Yada 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 story. They trade off powers. Like you're watching a kid that has been an outcast, bullied, yada yada yada. Like, and you're watching this guy learn how to control powers that literally could kill him if he uses it the wrong way. If he uses too much of it, it would literally combust his body because he can only control a certain percentage of the power up until at the end of the story. And people are like, "Oh, he's a crybaby, yada yada yada." Like, dude, imagine if you lived a life like that, like being bullied your whole life, like having no powers, a world full of powers. And same thing like Usopp. People are like, "Usopp's such a coward, yada yada yada." You're talking about a regular dude. Like Usopp is a regular dude. This is a dude with no powers, no special characteristics. He is a regular dude in a world full of monsters. We're talking about like Luffy can literally break a mountain with a punch. Zoro can cut a mountain with a punch, or with a sword. Sanji could kick a mountain and break it. You have Usopp. He is just a regular dude. Like he's fighting monsters and stuff, and you guys are like making fun of him for being a coward. Like it's
Even
like
if you
people
think
don't
he's a
understand
coward.
writing.
Even if you think he's a coward, all right, then as a viewer you can think that. That's a very normal trait. I mean, it doesn't make it a bad character. It just makes him a coward. It's a unique character. Then it's a lot of anime. I would at least, I haven't seen much of anything, but a lot of aura farmers going like, yeah, I'll take care of this.
I think the other thing is with Usopp's character. I don't know if you were. I thought you were done. You want to keep going? I'm sorry if I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I got much to say.
Usopp's
Here's what I
character
think.
is meant to be like he's a coward until he's put on in the spotlight. Like once somebody starts talking, he's a coward when it comes to himself, but he's not a coward when it comes to other people. Like when it comes to protecting his friends, he stands 10
Yeah,
toes.
it's a self-confidence
And
issue.
again, he also has
Very normal.
undeniably like I say he's a regular dude, but I might have bleeped that out.
I got hungry.
Um, well, back to what I was saying. Um, he is unironically has a lot better feats, if whatever you want to use, for durability than a lot of characters, even in like Naruto and not Bleach. I can't even say Bleach, and
Is it one
other.
of those like personification of your true soul type of shows?
No,
Like your power is who you are deep down.
not One Piece. But there's this scene like 100 episodes in where Usopp is getting dragged by a creature of sorts, and he's going. They're going like probably like 60 miles per hour. He's getting dragged. A
Normal.
dude with a 1-ton bat, 1 ton like the weight of 1 ton
One Piece.
bat, swings into Usopp's face. He tanks it. He tanks the hit, wins the fight. That unironically is a better durability fit than a lot of characters have because you're taking a 1-ton bat to the face while going 40 miles per hour and tanking it. Like like I said, there's some stuff to
Do you
Go
think
with
I
it.
can handle that?
no.
Mm.
Whether your head would be
Well,
clean off.
That's not nice.
Um,
But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, we can.
Rivals, great
Sorry.
time. I suggest you play it.
I,
And you know what? I'm gonna give this point to the One Piece fans. I think the comic fans got a little too pussy about this. So, point to the One Piece fans.
we do a little bit of trolling.
I love it. Anything else on any COD action or same old, same old?
We are basically in hell right now. We're in purgatory. We're in the in between.
Oh god.
We are just waiting for this battle pass to end.
You need some Icha fruit.
I don't think nothing's gonna happen for the next 2 weeks. And once that season 2 hits, let's pray to God they add some content to the game because it is a
dry?
It's a desert out here, man. It is.
Those Squid Games runs.
Wow. I mean, I haven't played it. I don't even care for it. It just that Squid Game small update just didn't bring enough content to keep the fan base going for
Those kind of updates
3
are
weeks.
fine, but I just don't care about that.
We need new
Just
maps.
don't care.
We need throwback map. We need new maps, throwback maps. We need some comp updates. We need an anti-cheat update. We need a lot for season 2. If season 2 doesn't have a full update, it is going to be very hated.
Is Warzone coming out season 2?
Yeah, they have.
OG map.
Oh, I have no clue. The OG map comes out in spring, I think. I think it's around March where it was leaked to come out.
They need that. They need that. Well, yeah. I mean, other than that, gaming. That's pretty much it. Nothing coming out in the near future. So.
I mean, if you want to talk about the Dream situation, just because it's part of the gaming, just
Sure.
a little touch up on that. We have a little bit of Twitter trolling,
A little
Twitter
action.
stream, Kick, Twitch, a little bit of
Hilarious.
everything.
To my
TommyInnit.
knowledge.
Nope.
To my knowledge, this started from TommyInnit
On a podcast, correct?
on a podcast insulted
Dream.
Mizkif.
Oh yeah, but I think it kind of.
And then, so that was like a back and forth for fun. For some reason, XQC went at Tommy.
Well, yeah, that's kind of. It's like
And then,
XQC's point. I'm not a huge XQC fan like that. Like I don't watch him like that, but
yeah.
to the point where it's like, okay, it's like a cringe person making fun of a cringe person, calling another person cringe.
No, this
I
was,
kind
it
of
was a
agree
whole,
with it. It was like we've got two like cringe
This
people
was-
going at it.
This was cringe crossfire. Everybody involved
Yeah.
here is just cringing. So, like, this is a non-issue. It's just corny cringers. Move on. Dream just wanted to get in, I think. I don't know if he was insulted directly.
I want to
by
say
Tommy.
Tommy must have said something on the podcast more about Dream, and
He
then
might have
Dream.
made a comment, but
I think
Dream,
Dream
like,
did
crashed out.
Yeah, he did like a crash out stream and like leaked DMs and stuff, and that's what
And then
started off
Dream's
everything.
like, I don't know what your opinion. I don't know if you have opinion on him or not, but to me, he's like
Any
hyper
what?
corny.
Oh,
Because I saw a clip where he's just like, he's in Minecraft. He points the camera to his character, and he's like role playing.
well, yeah, that was like the whole point of the Dream SMP. If I'm not correct, was it was role play?
Yeah, but it was like a serious stream.
Oh,
Apparently, he hasn't streamed like 2 years, and he comes on, does his stream, and was just like, he was doing like Joker roleplay, like, so Tommy, you think you could stop me, huh? Like it was like that for like 2 hours, and apparently he just went crazy. He's leaking DMs, he's doing this and that.
I think
I
it.
haven't seen the whole stream. Large public opinion is that this guy is freaky, pedophile grooming, just
I think it boils down to the fact that Dream can't take accountability for the fact that he is in the wrong, that he has done a lot of wrong. He was exposed by like several women that he was a groomer, and they have proof of him being a groomer. And instead of just saying, you know what, I messed up, he's like, I didn't do that. You know, like he proved one wrong, but then it's like ignored the other six. And then
he
it's
seems like he seems like he's got an ego on him.
he clearly
Like a
he plays
crazy
he
ego.
plays the victim card in every half. It's like he clearly was the bad guy, but he wants to play victim. Like he clearly just can't take accountability, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So from my perspective, speaking about I guess Tommy versus Dream, Tommy is just he hasn't done anything bad. He's just kind of cringe.
He's he was.
I am too. Dream is like the actual like
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
hey,
he's
we
like-
should have like people like raid his house one day.
Well,
Level up,
that's
like,
the thing
creepy.
is like
So
when Twitter was still Twitter and Dream was like really active.
there was
I remember
he had armies.
he was literally doxing people. He was literally getting his fans to dox people
Yeah,
that disagreed
he had
with him.
armies.
It was like, and then people would call him out for it, and he wouldn't take accountability. He's like, I didn't tell him to do that. But it's like you're inciting them to do it. You're telling them to go hate on that guy like that.
He's
That's
he's
inciting.
always been a piece of shit. And
I agree.
Be careful. I try to be careful with this kind of stuff with the allegations, but seeing how many women came out and then knowing who he is as a person, I'm playing probability, but odds are, yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
true. So, yeah, the guy just seems like a complete asshole. Him and his friends too. You got the one guy with the bowl cut.
I think
British guy.
No,
They're all guys and they're all British.
George and Sapnap were the main
George's not
two.
found. Yeah, apparently he's like a complete asshole. He's grooming girls too.
I don't know. I know something came out with Sapnap today. I didn't keep up with any of that. I know he's probably a terrible person as well. A little bit of everything.
I mean, they stuck by each other for a while, so I'm gonna
seems
guess
like
by association. Let me look up Sapnap on Twitter.
I
Let's
will
see what
say
happens.
somebody caught a funny crossfire, not really like crossfire, but somebody kind of got dragged into it. You know who Vicstar is, right? You know Simon.
Yeah.
Big OG Minecraft YouTuber. Vic had like a cameo in the Dream SMP. I'm pretty sure. He like hopped on for like one stream, and he's kind of friends with TommyInnit. I think TommyInnit's just a fan of Vicstar, and Vicstar had him on the Simon channel.
TommyInnit seems like the most normal, publicly accepted person. I think he's kind of cringy, but I mean, to my knowledge, he hasn't done anything wrong. Really.
So
Yeah, I think he's got friends in like public places that are willing to spend time with him.
I want to say it was Harry, Average Harry, who is another UK YouTuber.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
He like tweeted at Vicstar and was like, leak the chats, and Vicstar like randomly like just hopped in out of nowhere and just posted like a random screenshot of like Travis, another Minecraft YouTuber from. I don't even know if Travis was on the Dream SMP. He's from.
You have to call
he's
me
from a
Carson,
different.
Travis.
Yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, that Travis.
Just a one person, because I like to watch the Call Me Carson group.
Before
them and they had chat.
Before the Call Me Carson stuff happened.
Before Call Me Carson event.
Man, the Minecraft community can't catch a break. It's like,
dude, man,
you gotta think.
There's a lot of I see some jokes sometimes.
This guided Minecraft team crafted stuff, and then you have the bad line stuff. Not bad line. Something line. It might have been bad line.
I don't remember.
I know Scotted Minecraft like abused his wife
Minecraft
and was a pedophile. Bad line was a pedophile, and then you had Call Me Carson.
Dude,
because
their whole like group was like 13-year-old girls, and I guess they just snapped. They're like, "Fuck yeah." Yeah, no, they have such a reputation though.
There has not been a single Minecraft era of YouTube where there hasn't been like one scandal in that community of pedophilia or grooming. It's kind of horrendous.
Is there even one now? Like a Minecraft? The biggest Minecraft streamer now, to my knowledge, is Quackity.
Now, Quackity has his like bilingual server.
Yeah, he does the languages,
which was very cool. That was a very cool plug-in thing he made or whatever, where it like translates for you. That's pretty cool.
That was pretty sick.
There's the other side of Minecraft, like the Hermitcraft stuff, which is just a bunch of builders that have like their own SMP and they all build stuff. There's
like
that side,
like that level of popularity is like never again.
I mean, the Hermitcraft, they all average like 1 million views, but they're not streaming like that. They just record. But
I mean, like Dream SMP was like Jimmy Fallon was talking about it.
Yeah, Dream SMP was huge. There hasn't been much since because it was before the Dream SMP. There was that like Call Me Carson Schlatt group of
Captain
SMP.
Sparkles.
That's what I'm saying. That was like they had their own SMP. Forgot what it was called, but it was like Call Me Carson Schlatt. Captain Sparkles was on it. That was when like Swagger Souls was on it. There was like a huge. I forgot what the SMP was called, but there was that SMP came out before the Dream SMP, and this is how most people blew up in that group because that's when like Travis blew up. TommyInnit, I'm pretty sure, blew up through off of this. You have Grunk.
And he had the one dude who died.
Big
What was his name?
Who died?
Yeah, I think he had cancer or something.
Oh, Technoblade. He's OG though. He's OG, but he was part of like a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's one of like the OGs.
But I'm saying like that's what I'm saying. You have the OGs like Ant Venom, Captain Sparkles, Direwolf, Vicstar. Vicstar was like early game, but that was Team Crafted. You know what I'm saying? Team Crafted, the Pack. Team Crafted had their scandal, but that was really just, if I'm not mistaken, was just Scotty's Minecraft.
Yeah, I wasn't keeping up too much at that time, so I couldn't tell.
Well, that's when I was like big into Minecraft. Was during the Team Crafted era. That was when like Beijing Canadian, Jerome, Vicstar, Lachlan.
Beijing Canadian.
That's what I'm saying. And now like Vicstar.
And he had, like, I used to watch the creatures a lot, so it'd be like Uber Hexer Nova.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's
Kutra, Z Royal Viking.
Oh man.
Spoonerism. That was my like group when I was like growing up.
Well, I was a
like,
big
creatures.
Vicstar fan because Vicstar was like multi-gaming because he was like he had the Team Crafted in the Pack. He was like huge in that Minecraft era, but then he was also huge in the OG COD era with like all the OG COD players. And then he was also like the Sidemen. That's what I'm saying. Then you had the Sidemen, and he's still doing it.
He's just an OG YouTuber.
He's a DJ now, and Vicstar's doing numbers. But it's like from Lachlan. Lachlan's still doing huge. I mean, Lachlan was huge back then when he was Craft Battle Duty, but now he's like one of the biggest Fortnite YouTubers. He averages like insane numbers.
Yeah.
Laser beam, I guess, was kind of back into the era.
Yeah, then he
Um,
had the That's when he used to play like a lot of prop hunt too. I remember that prop hunt, but it was like the Banhouse crew.
yeah, there's been a lot of groups. Cause like yeah, the Vandals group you had
Can you still see me?
yeah, you had the Yummy. Oh, not Yummy, but Yummy is part of like Milk. But no, no, did I just my internet just go out? Hello, hello.
Yeah. You thought you could stop me? I'm back.
Okay, I don't know what is happening, but we're back. Um, what I was saying is
Don't fuck
Yummy
with me.
or not Yummy, but milk in a bag, milk in a bag. Who am I? The KYR Speedy? Is that what it's called? I'm trying to
Yeah, that was
think.
the Banhouse crew.
No. There was a separate group that was like just outside of that group. They kind of collabed, but it was more like I think it was Legion, KYR Speedy. Who am I thinking of? I mean, I can't. I'm gonna have to look this up. So it was more of a COD group, but they did a lot of COD trolling. It was I'm pretty sure it was Legion.
Um,
Oh, he's still doing his thing.
no, yeah, nobody epic.
Yeah, see, okay, that's what
It's
I'm
like
talking about. Yeah.
sidearms for a reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Okay, there we go.
I remember. Yeah, no, I remember these guys. Yeah, they would do some Minecraft stuff, but
Well, no, I'm talking about more just COD groups or like groups in general. Yeah,
well, they did
nobody
Minecraft.
ever.
They did everything. COD. I remember watching their like prop hunt videos a lot. A lot of prop hunt. GTA.
Okay, Legion was friends with Wildcat, and that's how the whole like crossover between the Vanoss and the other group like they all kind of mingled. You know what I'm saying? Because then you had
Yeah.
Phase, OG Optic, Soar, Myth, um, Dare, um, L7. A lot of COD groups. A lot of COD groups. There was I'm trying to think of other ones. Psycho, Obey, Obey Alliance, not Supremacy.
There was a shitload.
Dude, oh my God! Back in my
There was a
time,
lot.
there was yeah, dude. In my time, there was like Saw. Dude, COD was like, ooh, Prime COD like community was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I mean that's really all for gaming, I guess. And there's really no new music
Just
out.
drama and shit. Yeah. Other than that, that's about it. Any music action?
Dude, I know Little Baby Drop, but other than that, nothing really.
Yeah, cool. That's it.
We
That's
already
about it
talked.
for
We
me.
already talked about that like a week ago.
Yeah. No one
Um,
else has dropped. The usual are like, well, they do it like Cardi and them, but I'll believe when I see it.
we
So
the only I guess Drake teased an album. He said drop the album. Drake teased an album. I
true.
guess that's the only
I
like
did see
big
that.
one.
No, he'll have
Um,
an album this year.
Baby
I think it'll
Keem.
be. I think it'll be a ways out still.
Yeah, Baby Keem's producer teased an album. Said again saying like we're next or something like that. So I think Baby Keem's got an album coming out this year.
Drake's either dropping October or the day before the Super Bowl. Those are the
Yeah,
only
I was
two
gonna
times.
say it might be like an early like either like right before the Super Bowl or like might be like a summer album or just for the summer.
He might go for a summer album.
Um,
Reclaim the summer.
yeah, but no, yeah, not much with the
That's
music
about it.
industry that I'm aware of.
Dry week. Well, little basketball action happened. Little basketball action.
Let's talk about some current teams, man. Orlando Banchero's back. Orlando's looking on the move. They're looking good again.
Yeah,
But
because we
they
talk
haven't really fallen
yeah,
off.
East Conference first.
They're going. Orlando's moving. They're doing their thing.
Shout out to Orlando.
Pacers look back, and I know Halliburton's out again, but Pacers look back. They're playing like they were like next man up mentality again. They look like they're on
They're
a
playing
roll.
like I thought they'd be, like a team that could fight the Knicks and a team that could fight the Magic, like a arguably third best team in the conference. But Halliburton that injury, because
Yeah.
like I said, same hamstring, same leg. That's the worst injury you could have had. I'd rather he just break his damn arm and miss the year, because that is. I don't see how bad it is, but if he just can never fully ever get healthy again, then that's a shame.
Speaking of the Knicks have been streaky. They
They've
can't
been up
just
and down.
their rhythm just it's very
I'll never.
on and off. Who's gonna play? Who's gonna like go off and who's not gonna go off.
I think Tom Thibodeau is a good coach, but I'll never think his method is great. Of play all of your starters 42 minutes a game.
Well, it's like one game.
It's the days like these where you need a good bench. Those middle part of the season where you got to grind some wins.
And
out,
this is
it's
why
just,
like OG can't stay consistent. Like OG will have 31 game, 10 the next, 21 game, 9
yeah,
the
OG's
next.
up and
like,
down.
Same with Hart.
Brunson and Cat are still all-star players. Cat's having a fantastic year. They're doing their thing. Bridges has been disappointing. He's been a little streaky. And shout out Josh Hart. He has been impressing me. He's been better than I thought he'd be. He's currently got a season averages of 14, 9, and 6, shooting 57%, 38 from 3, with good defense. That's really good.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Not an all-star player, but he's like a really good starter. You know, to have on your team.
He's had a few streaky games, but he's been solid for the most part.
If he's streaking though, like he'll do everything else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like if his shot's off, he does everything else.
With Bridges, it looks like his defense has been worse.
And speaking of,
they're a good team still. But yeah, shout out them, Magic. And
Pacers knocked off the Cavs win streak that just like right before this podcast, so that was just an interesting one because no Halliburton. So
Cavs are up 5.5 on the Celtics. Let me refresh to make sure that's updated. Yeah, 5.5 on the Celtics. We are 38, 39 games in. Do you think the Celtics win this conference still? The Celtics have a couple issues. They're not a perfect. No one's ever a perfect team, but they got a couple issues. The Cavs have been playing better than I thought they would have been, like 10 games into the season.
It purely depends on this January-February run. If we don't get them before that All-Star break, I think it's just it's unlikely. It has to be close before the All-Star break.
It's got to be pretty much tied.
We have to be like a game back.
Yeah.
By All-Star break, or it's just out of the. It is what it is. We'll just settle with second seed. But like, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Cavs are on a hot streak. The only thing. I still think
the Celtics are a better team, but if I had to say right now, I'd put money on the Cavs winning the conference.
Yeah, I think Cavs are on a roll right now. I'm still not. I am 100% on them being a good team. I'm still worried about their playoffs. I'm still worried about their playoffs. I've got to see their first round, see how they do first round. Again,
they're either the 2015 Warriors or they're the 2020, 2019 Jazz.
Because the thing is they are going to, if they're the first seed, they're going to play a play-in team. The problem is the Hawks are in the play-in, and the Hawks have beat them all matchups. And again, it's because it's a matchup issue. It's a matchup. It's the same thing as if the Celtics play the Cavs. Obviously, it's probably inevitable. We're probably going to play them. Celtics match up really well versus the Cavs. It's the same thing with the Celtics match up really well versus the Bucks. Like it does. Like that's why like every year the Bucks have the first seed and the Celtics are second or third seed. Celtics still beat the Bucks in playoffs because Celtics match up better than the Bucks or better against the Bucks. It's like just like the Magic. The Magic aren't as good as the Celtics, but they match up really well versus the Celtics. Same with the Pacers, unironically. They give us a hard time. But I think the Hawks just have a versatile team of just next up guys who can shoot three, can defend well. They're just a good all-around team. And they're not playing at a playoff level, but they're going to be playing. They should be playing right now. They're just on the verge of playoffs. They're like
I can tell you the play-in looks. It is the Pacers are
a game back from Miami.
A half a game up over the Bucks.
Okay.
In the 5th seed, so I'll go from the 5th down. It's Pacers at 5th, Bucks at 6th. The Heat is 7th seed right now.
Okay.
Pistons are 8th seed. Pistons 8 of their last 10, by the way.
Yeah, they might get up there.
They're over 500, 20 and 19, 8th seed right now. I'm impressed. Hawks are 9th, Bulls are 10th. So right now your play-in would be Heat, Pistons, Hawks, Bulls. The Sixers are 3 games behind the Bulls in the 11th seed, and honestly, Embiid just can't play 3 games straight. Maxey's been up and
See,
down.
that's
Paul George is an active. Paul George is worse than Tobias Harris at this point in his career. He is terrible. McCain is down.
he's out for the season. Yeah, he got announced a couple days
I
ago.
mean, you're getting good Maxey play, but not great.
See this.
Paul George is just not good enough, and Embiid's gonna miss at least half the games from here on out, and they have an average at best bench.
I'm still slightly confident that the Sixers will sneak into play-ins.
I think so too.
I think they'll knock the Bulls out because the Bulls are trying to tank, but now it looks like they're not trying to tank. So that's the thing that's confusing me. Are they tanking?
Well, that's the
or
problem
not
with the Bulls
tanking?
the last 3 years. They don't know what they're doing. They're just stuck.
Because they are good enough to compete, but they're not good enough to contend.
I would have had the Pistons being knocked out, but ever since Jane Ivey went down, they're like, wait.
Well, I think Asar Thompson getting a bigger role, Ron Holland getting a bigger role, Cade playing out of his mind, Duran's kind of shaking back into a good playoff, or just good, not playoff, but good.
And Tobias Harris has been good.
Beasley's been one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Hardaway Jr.'s doing well.
Isaiah Stewart's been one of the best backup centers in the league for defense.
And Cade has been a top 15 player.
Yeah, and then Fontecchio. Fontecchio's been lights out in the last 5 games. So
I don't see him beating any of the top 3 or 4 teams in the East, but I think they make the play-in.
Yeah, I hope they just.
I think they make the top 10.
I just want them to get a play-in run. That's all I really want is them to just.
That'd be cool to see.
The whole point of being a rebuilding team is being bad. Okay, I see how far we can make it, and then now that they're still in rebuild mode, but now they're at a point where it's you can compete, see how well you can compete, get your stocks up, you can trade some players. This is honestly where I would trade someone like Duran, try to get a different center. I don't know if I would trade Duran, but I'm just saying this is where you trade somebody who has a good stock, like Jaden Ivey. If Jaden Ivey didn't get injured, I would have looked to ship him just to get something in return because you see how good Asar Thompson has been, how good Ron Holland has been.
Just some more good drafts. It's going to take a couple of years, but I think some more draft picks. Try to get a free agent here to say, hey, listen, we got an all NBA player in Cade.
Yeah.
And come join him. We got good young, get a type of I don't know what, like a Cam Johnson level of fringe all-star, really good player pickup.
Yeah.
Make some noise. It's going to take a couple of years, but.
This is a team where it's I would be interested in them. Shoot, maybe go for Claxton. Have Claxton as your. Maybe move Duran. No, keep Duran at center. Have Claxton
just
at the 4.
Talent, just talent in general.
Just
anybody willing to play for Detroit, come on down. Like Levine, I think that'd be fun. But
yeah, I don't know how that would fit with Cade, but it'd be interesting.
I think Cade has shown he can do a lot.
Well, yeah, I think
that's the best part is that Cade could play 1 through 3.
I think it's Zach Levine's play
Zach
style
Levine could just be
scares
that pure.
me that he'd make Cade regress a little bit as a scorer and progress.
I don't think so. I think
passer.
Cade would get his shots out. Honestly, Cade is. I mean, shit, he's got to be up there in assists.
Yeah, he averages 6 or 7, I think.
He's averaging 10.
Oh, fair play, man. I did not know that.
24, 7, 10 is his line average right now, rounding up 9.6. Yeah, 24, 7, 10 is his line. He's shooting 46%, 38 from 3.
He's been nasty. Fair enough.
But he's not
give that man third team All NBA.
So I think, honestly, a guy like Levine who's going to give you, his best lines are 30 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, but sometimes he needs to score. And they got decent scores, but,
Well, I mean,
anyway, just any free agent that's willing to join, I'd be I wouldn't worry about fit too much because they're all young. Be hey.
Yeah, fair. They'll adapt.
Yeah.
Their coach has been a big turnaround for that team.
Cade has been, in terms of adapting, he's top 5 right now. So kind of insane. Yeah.
I'll touch on my little Celtics. I'll touch on my Celtics.
Well, just real quick before you do that, I'd say the play-in is pretty much done.
Yeah.
Because Nets, Hornets, Raptors, Wizards are out.
Yeah.
So one of, I think the Bucks will make it, Pacers and all that. So Heat, Pistons, Hawks, Bulls, Sixers. One of them won't make it. The other 4 will be playing. So seeding is what the fight is for, but
fair.
Yeah, it's pretty much the scene's pretty much set. And the Sixers they got to get going a little bit.
Now talk about my Celtics. I'm not worried in terms of oh my gosh, Celtics are gonna Celtics are just playing awful. They're the worst team. Like, I'm not in that stage where some people are. The problem with Celtics fan base is because they're so used to championships and winning, is that Boston culture, um, that they can't understand that teams go through rough patches. It's like
This
we
is a 20.
like
This team's 28-11. It's the second seed team.
that's what I'm saying. Like we're not only are we 28-11, we're exactly where we were last year in wins to losses. The only difference is last year we were winning by 20 every game.
Yeah, and the difference is last year you didn't have a Cavs.
We didn't. We weren't as injured last year. I mean, Jaylen Brown has already missed like 6 games this year. Tatum has missed his game or two. D. White and Drew missed their games. Porzingis has missed his games. We have been better without Porzingis, rhythm wise and rating wise, net rating wise. I think Porzingis is still a good player. I think it might be time for him to come off the bench, see how it works. Let Horford start, play KP off the bench, and see how he can, and just let him score. Let him be a scorer off the bench, and I think it can help because I think it's throwing off the rhythm. I think the team works best when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Well, Jason Tatum and Jen. I think it works best when our two best players are the main scorers. When they are going, point for point in the paint from the three. I think when Porzingis gets thrown in the mix, it's like it becomes like a let him post up, let him post up, let him post up, let him post up. When the best thing about Porzingis is that he stretches the floor. So why are we posting him up every single play when his main attribute is the fact that he can shoot the three ball at a high rate? Let him spread the floor, let the Jays drive, and then that opens up the floor for everybody else to become shooters again. But we've been very clogged the last couple games of spacing, where it's like Porzingis is in the box or at the top of the key, and now Jaylen Brown's been shooting awfully this year. Is sitting in the corner. Tatum, is going off the screen and not driving. Like, it's just been very rough with our spacing. I think we need to switch something up, and I think Porzingis off the bench might be the move.
Something messed with the offense because, I mean, from what I've seen as an outsider, generally, really other than Tatum across the board, offensive is down.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking while you were talking, everybody on the team is shooting percentage-wise less than their career average right now. So,
I mean, even Tatum is, to be fair. Like, our offense has been.
Yeah, and Tatum's been great, obviously, but he could be a little better. Jaylen Brown's got a slump right now. His 3 points got to be better. His shooting in general.
I think that's the thing.
Porzingis needs to be doing better at his height. Drew Holiday and Derek White, great guard combo, but sometimes they combine for 14 tonight. Like, that just can't happen. Both need more than 14 individually. And that Peyton Pritchard's good off the bench, but he's cooled down a bit recently. So stuff like that. I mean, just generally just shot making. I think defense, I think, is going to be okay. The shot making's been a little.
I think for me, I think the best thing would be is Jaylen Brown has taken huge leaps as a playmaker this season, and I think running the ball through him has been working. So, in my opinion, I think that first quarter, Jaylen Brown should play the whole first quarter. Tatum should, get his rest in the first quarter. Let Jaylen Brown be the tone setter. Let Jaylen Brown play the whole first quarter. Porzingis off the bench. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can score in the first, quarter, but then Jaylen Brown can become the main playmaker and, start feeding Porzingis. And then when Porzingis comes in off the bench in the first quarter with Jaylen Brown becomes the playmaker. And he stops, and this is when I think it might help because now Jaylen Brown can kick out to Porzingis, start feeding him. Having Pritchard off the bench as well with him, Jaylen Brown will just be able to feel the floor out more, I think, as the main ball handler and playmaker. I think it'd be better to have Porzingis off the bench and have a Pritchard, Porzingis, Brown with like a Derek White and a Horford, or like a Derek White and a Cornet or something. I don't know if I want Cornet off. I don't like the too big. I'm not a big fan of like Cornet and Pingus and
modern NBA too bigs if you can't shoot or kind of.
I'd like to see Walsh get some more minutes, and then let Tatum play the full fourth quarter. I think Tatum playing the full fourth quarter works the best.
But yeah, the Celtics are fine.
Oh no, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I think Jaylen Brown.
If they're playing like this, and you're a third seed going into the playoffs, I'm like, okay, I get the concerns. But right now they're perfectly fine. the Cavs can win this conference, and I'm still thinking the Celtics are better. So
Yeah, I think the only big fear is Jalen Brown's three ball. Everything else is like he's finding his rhythm in the paint. He's finding his rhythm everywhere else. It
yeah,
really just seems like his three ball is just off a cliff. And I think it might be the weight room. I think it might be a problem. He's just.
it matters, man.
I
When you
think it
gain 10
messed up
pounds
his.
of muscle.
I think it messed up his rhythm for the three.
Yeah.
He's had his games where he's gone 6 for 6 in the first quarter with from the three. Like he can still shoot. It's just he's been way more hot or cold compared to other years.
He
So
seems
I
like a
think
rhythm player.
I do like that he has been in the last couple games. He's been taking less threes and just driving. Once he realizes his three ball's not on, he is just driving. I like Jalen Brown bully ball. I think it works the best when Jalen Brown is on that block and just posting up. He's statistically one of the best post up scorers for his size and position. Like let him play bully ball.
Yeah.
And then it helps him. He
Yeah,
starts getting
the three's
cramped and then he
gone.
can kick out.
The three fell off a cliff, but everything else was fine. Defense, effort, passing's better, rebounding, post scoring, cutting. I mean, he's still a very good player, but that three ball would be a big help. So him shooting, because he's shooting. Let me take a look at his
32%?
percentages right now. Yeah, he's shooting 32.2%.
Yeah.
Career average 36. Get that back up to 36.
Yeah.
Those 1 for 5 games turn into 2 for 5s, and the 2 for 9 games turn into 3 for 8s because you take one less. Stuff like that. That stuff matters. So, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much the East. For the West,
Cavs beat Cavs beat the Thunder this week in their big
Cavs beat
matchup.
the Thunder. Thunder themselves, 9-1 in their last 10, 6.5 games over the second seed Rockets. Shout out to the Rockets. Thunder didn't expect this. They're kind of beating the hell out of the West. The West itself is they're beating each other up, but
I think
shout out to the Thunder. The Rockets and the Grizzlies second and third. They got the youth. They're playing well. Nuggets 4th seed now. They're Westbrook, most improved player, might have a shout there. Westbrook's been great.
Yep.
He's been really good.
He's like
Mavericks have fallen. Yeah, the Mavericks are 3-7 in their last 10. Got Luka. Lakers and Clippers, they're in the mix. This is all like now this is all like 3-game differences between like 16.
Kings
Lakers, Clippers,
Kings are
Warriors.
on a 7-win streak after firing Mike Brown.
The Kings are now 9th seed after getting a 7-game win streak, much needed. Warriors, Suns, no one cares about. They're out. They're not gonna make noise this year. Spurs are the 12th seed. Still got some pieces. Wemby's gonna win MVPs, but they need some extra power there. But the West is a bloodbath, man.
No.
But shout out to the Thunder.
This is my whole thing is overall the West and the East are in the same exact situation. Like it's just the East is such the same amount of a dogfight. It's just the West
East is caught up to the West.
Yeah, it's like I think the East had a worse start, but the East is a dogfight too. It's just the gap between the top 3 teams is a lot bigger than the gap between the top 3 teams in the West. Like you have OKC, big drop, and then everybody else. But it's like everybody that was
between the Rockets in the 2nd seed and the Spurs in the 12th seed.
Like 2 games.
7 games.
No.
And 7's not a lot.
No.
For a 10 seed difference. That's 7 games.
One thing I would like to say.
If you want to crunch that, from the Nuggets 4th seed to the Spurs 12th seed, that's 4 games.
To all the Jokic haters, to all the people that are like, Jokic shouldn't win MVP because he was 9th seed. He is now 4th seed. He is 3 games back from 2nd seed. For everybody that was saying that Jokic shouldn't win MVP, that is ridiculous. He's going to lose it to SGA, and it's going to be a very it's not going to be an unfair win for SGA, but I think Jokic is clearly MVP, clearly the best player in the league. SGA does not deserve it over Jokic, but it's deserved. If SGA wins it, it's deserved. But I don't think he deserves it over Jokic.
It's a shame.
That first seed does not make it like here and there. Like Jokic is averaging the same amount of points as SGA. He's averaging 15 rebounds, 10 assists. He's averaging a triple-double. He's shooting career highs in every percent. He's leading the league in 3-point percentage shooting at a career high 3 points per game.
He is a career, including this year, so he can knock it down a bit before this year, is a 36% shooter. He's shooting 48 this year.
And he's shooting career high attempts.
He's shooting more.
He's shooting career high attempts. He has been outstandingly the best player in the league He should be MVP, but he's going to get voter fatigue, and they're gonna give it to SGA, and it's gonna be I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all.
We'll see. It's gonna be a fight because SGA's got the Joker's got the Jokic to
Now,
me is the MVP.
if Jokic,
SGA's been playing like an MVP, and
yes.
he would win it any other year for the most part.
If
But
Jokic
at
wills
this- at
out a
this
second
pace-
seed, all I said, that's the only thing. If Jokic wills out a second seed, that's when it becomes okay, Jokic is the clear path
If
runaway
Jokic is
winner.
top 4, it should be like if he maintains this level. But
Yeah.
he will. If Jokic is top 4, done. I don't care how good the Thunder do, unless the Thunder literally went out and do go 76-6.
Like, dude,
Then I'll
like,
let SGA have it. But
like
to
I
me,
just,
the only way the Thunder get it is if either the Nuggets fall off a cliff, or the Thunder break the record for wins in the season.
Like,
It's
again-
you gotta be one or the other.
again, Jokic is a center, averaging more assists than SGA, who's a point guard. Like, he's averaging, but Jokic is also averaging the same amount of points.
That's the thing.
When
For me, it's the
when,
scoring.
when Jokic is not a scorer and SGA is only a scorer. Like, this is my thing: is SGA is his main ability is his scoring, and then he's a good defender. He's a good perimeter defender. But he's not a premier rebounder. He's just a all right rebounder. He is a all right passer and all right playmaker. He is not great at anything, but he is really great at scoring. Jokic is literally really great at everything. He might be the best at everything besides scoring, but he's tied for number one
he's up
scorer.
there.
He's tied for number one scorer right now.
It's for me, it's the scoring because the assist rebounds. The way the Nuggets play, I mean, the Thunder like, hey SGA, pass now, pass, and
That's
farm
what I'm
it, and you could average 12 a game. But the scoring for me, I expected Jokic to average 25 like he usually does. 32,
dude,
all
it's
right,
insane.
And
And,
then
you
at
know,
higher percentages, higher attempts, and you're hitting more of them.
I want to give Tatum some love as well. It's like Tatum is getting so much hate, and it's ridiculous that he keeps on dropping in the MVP polls when the only like I said, Tatum's averaging 10 rebounds this year, career high in rebounds. He's averaging like 6 assists right now, which I think is tied with SGA. Like we're talking about a power forward who is playmaking better than a point guard, and he's also
I don't like assists as a playmaking stat.
again.
I push back on
Well,
it a
I
little bit.
think Tatum is a better playmaker, and I think I can argue that with.
You can say that, but I just
multiple
don't think
metrics.
assists. I don't think assists can be a good like.
Well, I'm just saying, like Tatum averaging more potential assists per game than SGA as well. If you wanted to bring that up, it's like there's lots of metrics to go into, but Tatum is like top 5 in every single metric. Like Tatum is in screening metrics. Tatum is number 4 in setting screens and like it's stuff like that. Like Tatum is literally like
Tatum does everything
in
great.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't I don't see how he doesn't get love for being one of the best. He is probably arguably besides Jokic the best all around basketball player when it comes to doing every single thing.
I've seen in most polls he's at worst 4th behind Giannis. I'd have him above Giannis.
Well,
'cause
they
Giannis
put
has been out
Wemby
last few
they put
weeks.
Wemby above him. They put Wemby above him. They
Yeah,
put
that's
Wemby
too
above him this week. This week they
too
put Wemby above Tatum. They had
is-
Cat above Tatum. Like it's like
It's Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Tatum.
yeah, I think
Gap, and then tier 2, which is Wemby, Cat, I don't know, Mitchell, people like that. But there's like a huge gap between tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah.
There's 4 people. Only 4 people have a shot this year, and that's Tatum, Giannis, SGA, Jokic.
and I think Tatum's making
Any
some
order you want to
statements.
put him in? Up to you, but
Tatum-
I'd go Jokic.
Oh, no, keep going.
I was just saying, I would go right now Jokic, SGA, Tatum, Giannis. That's my
I
correct.
agree. I think, dude, Giannis is like Giannis doesn't get enough hate that Jokic gets. Is what I'm saying. Is Jokic is 4th seed, fighting upwards. Giannis is like 6th seed, fighting downwards. He's like almost playing. He's almost gonna drop into playing because he keeps losing games. Like
Yeah.
he's had,
Well, he missed a couple because of his illness, but
but he's like statistically
he's
like
just Jokic, but a little worse. That's all it is. So he's below him.
like
To me, that's simple.
I think
Defense is better, but okay,
the thing that like puts SGA down is that SGA's playmaking is just worse than the other 3. I think in terms of like what he does to get other people going, I think SGA is the worst compared to the other three. Like, he doesn't open up the floor for everybody else. Like, he's not a
I think he opens it up
floor
in a
raiser.
different way.
Like, but I think his is like when you look at like the metrics and like time holding the ball, time pass, getting the ball back. SGA like he gives and goes. Like he gives the ball,
Yeah.
gets it back. Tatum gives the ball and it's swung to somebody else. You know, like Tatum is
I can
like a
I
better.
can meet you. I can meet you halfway on that, but when you're 32 and 6 and 6.5 up, they're doing it because it's the best. It's the
No,
best
that's what I'm
possible
saying.
system.
I think it's
So
just like I think my whole defense is like Celtics could do the same thing for Tatum. Tatum could score 40 a game. Like, I mean 32 a
yeah,
game. Like if,
but Tatum, I think the Celtics are at their best when Tatum is averaging a triple double almost. Not when he's
exactly,
scoring 45.
exactly. And I mean Tatum just
SGA, I think the Thunder are the difference. The Thunder are the best when SGA has 40.
well, I think they're just the best when their defense is fully logged in. Like their defense is just their defense is what gets them going. Is like SJ could have 15 points. It's that defense. Like I'm not trying to call SJ a stat pattern, but there's a lot of games where they're up 30 and they're like still
Well, you want to hear
having
his line
SJ
today?
in the game. Like 27.
27 points on 5 made shots.
How many?
He had 16 free throws. 16 for 17 from the line, 5 for 17 from the field. He had 5 made shots for 27 points.
That is disgusting hoops. That is just disgusting hoops. That
I
is
will
just.
I still think he's second in the MVP ranking. I will give him respect. When it comes to stars, he's probably my least favorite star to watch play basketball since prime James Harden, and even then he was more fun. He was just an annoying foul baiter.
Dude,
This is just I don't like watching Thunder basketball.
Tatum just gave what a ethical 40 bomb with like 6 assists. I mean 6 free throws.
Tatum's very ethical. Tatum actually, oh shit, he deserves. Man, the amount of times he gets teched for looking funny as a ref.
He Tatum scored
kinda
38 points on 10 free throws.
Yeah,
That's 11 more points than SJ on
that's just a really good basketball game.
on and how many
He had
like,
27 points on 5 shots made. 16 free throws.
that is just disgusting hoops, man. I can't like SJ's a hooper. SJ's a great scorer.
And his talent lets him get to the line. You know,
SGA is a great two-way player. I just can't put
It's
him over
just-
Tatum. If you want to put him over him in
It's tough to
MVP
watch.
ratings, if you want to say like he's had a better year MVP wise, I don't really care. But if we're talking player for player, I'm taking Tatum every day of the week. Tatum is a better player than SGA at every facet of basketball.
all right.
That's
fair enough.
my argument. I could care less. Like Tatum's a better scorer, ISO scorer, better 3-level scorer. Tatum's a better defender at all 3 levels. Tatum's a better rebounder, passer, playmaker. Tatum just does everything better than SGA, and it's just besides getting fouls. So like it's just it's so like clean cut for me. I don't really understand how it's that close. I think people meat ride SGA so much. Like he is a great player. He's just not better than Tatum. But if you want to give me
think
MVP,
you
I
win.
really could care less.
I would say you went too far the other way. I think there is an argument to who is the better player. However, I would also take Tatum.
I think just
Seven,
Tatum does
seven
everything
game
better.
series. If I'm building a team around a guy, I'm picking Tatum. I guess you could say because he does everything better. However, SGA is, I think, had a better year. So
But even then,
props
it's
for that.
like you're comparing like what's a better year? You know, like team stats. Like it's just like you have a kid,
Yeah,
you
I'd
have
say
one
team
person saying
stats.
you have one person scoring 32, 6 and 6, or somebody scoring 30, 10 and 6. It's like who do you want? I want
a
the
little
guy who's
competition.
I want the guy who's scoring 30, 10 and 6. Like I want the guy who does everything great. And again, the better defender, which is Tatum.
Can I like compare players in this shit?
Well, I think like that head-to-head stat thing is like
Well, I don't want like
It's-
pure head. I just don't like what they've been doing. Here, I'll just do 2 tabs. So yeah, I mean, pure stats wise, you got Shy is whipping up this year a 30 around down and up. So 31, 6, 6, 2 steals and a block. Tatum's got 28, 9, 5, 1 steal, 1 block. Tatum's shooting 46 from the field, 35 from 3. SGA 52 from the field, 36 from 3. 36 from 3 for Tatum as well. Shy's shooting 90% from the free throw line, which is dangerous because he averages 15 a game. Statistically, they're about equal, depending on what you value. Shy's numbers pop better defensively, statistically wise, more steals and blocks. Tatum has them in rebounds. They're tied in assists, but since SGA is a guard, you can knock him for that. Statistically, they look equal, and then I would give Shy a rub for team success. So to me, that's what makes Shy better this year. However, I think there's an argument. If some people will, you ask 100 people, who do you want your team? You'll damn near 50-50 it. Some will say Tatum, some will say Shy. And
I think a lot of the argument is like what you value, and I test is for sure. It's like,
yeah,
I think Tatum's a better 3-level scorer than SGA. Like Tatum has the best ISO rating in the league. Like Tatum is the best ISO scorer in the league. Off stats, off possessions, points per possession. Tatum's at like 1.20 to SGA's at like 1.16 or something like that. Like there's a little bit of a gap there. Tatum's a better rebounder. Tatum's a better playmaker. Again, I think I value Tatum's playmaking more because he's a power forward, whereas SGA's a guard. And that's just using assists, but if you're looking at potential assists, Tatum play makes more, passes more. Tatum's a top 4 screener in the league statistically, so it's like Tatum is an off-ball screening, does more. I think Tatum again is a little better 3-level scorer. What he does, like Tatum is a better 3-point shooter than SGA. SGA shoots a lot less than Tatum, and they have about the average. Tatum's a more versatile defender. If you like, there's definitely arguments with defense. Like, is SGA a better perimeter defender? I'd still probably take Tatum, but the argument with defense is Tatum can guard 1 through 5. SGA can't guard 1 through 5. I think even off ball defense, they're both relatively. That's the thing with like steals and blocks. You can't really like. It looks better, but steals and blocks is such a hard thing to calculate, and it's the same thing with like defensive rating is such a hard thing to calculate because it's a team attribute. But it's
I'd say he's leading statistically, but I don't put too much weight in that. But I also
because
put the same thing for assists.
Luka averages like 3 steals, but he's one of the worst drive-by, blown-by defenders in the league. So
a lot of the steal leaders are just steal merchants.
Yeah, it's off-ball.
What you don't see is that they just got beat 4 times in a row, but they finally got the steal in the 5th position.
But then that's where you give Luka credit. Like Luka credit.
I know SGA is a great perimeter defender. He can't handle centers, obviously, but he obviously does the job in the perimeter.
So like I said, I value Tatum more just because Tatum does everything great.
Yeah,
but he's also just a better all-around player, and I think his playmaking is just better than SGA. Like SGA does not have the gravity that Tatum has all over the court. Like you're not picking up SGA full court, trapping him double. Like you're trapping him in the paint. Tatum is getting picked up at the half court. Like he's getting doubled at half court line. Like I think that's the big difference. Like people would like I still think like if I'm playing defensively versus SGA, if I'm coaching against him, force him to be a playmaker. Force him to average 10 assists. Like trap him, double him, triple him. Force him to out playmake you because I don't think he can out playmake a good defensive team. Like that's what I would do personally, and I think Cavs did pretty well against that. Didn't he have like 6 turnovers versus the Cavs? Like he had his like career or like season high turnovers versus the Cavs.
Yeah, he had. Let me go take a look.
But my point is, while you're looking, is that if I'm a coach, I am forcing SGA into a playmaking role. Make him prove he can playmake, because Tatum has proven that he can beat the double by playmaking.
31 points on 13 for 27, 1 for 6 from 3. Only 4 free throws. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. A great defensive effort.
Yep.
But 5 turnovers.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
again, I think like forcing.
Yeah, I think your best bet is running in a straight line. Honestly, I would pick him up at half court. Do not let him drive a full head of steam into the paint. That's how he gets his fouls.
Like I said, I think I'd like to see more teams force him to be a playmaker. It's the same thing with like Luka. It's like you do the opposite of Luka. Force him to be a scorer. Don't let him playmake. Don't let him get the free kickouts and the lob threats.
Yeah, no.
Cut off Luka to score all 40 of his teammates. But with SGA, I think you do the opposite.
Let SGA score 40 because he slows the game down so much.
make his team outplay your team, which I don't think player for player OKC can match up with. Like Celtics or even Cavs could probably outmatch them player for player if you take out SGA. I like
It'd be a
Mitchell.
good fight,
I
but
like. I think
this
I.
is all without Chet too.
Yeah. Again,
So
like
yeah, imagine Chet comes back. I think Chet would be the best. Well, I
again,
mean,
Chet.
Mobley's been really good, but
Chet
I
definitely
don't know.
changes the whole entire dynamic of this OKC team, and that's why
I
it's like
honestly, but still,
once Chet comes back, it's a whole
just
different
to
thing.
finish it off, the Thunder Celtics,
Yeah, I
two
hope
best
that's.
teams. It'd be a great finals.
I still want to. I still need to see OKC make a playoff run. They've SGA has still never made it past second round, like in his 7 years of playtime. Like you can hate on Luka all you want for being lazy and fat, but he's made it to the finals. He's made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like SGA does not get enough hate for how much success he hasn't had at the level that he's supposed to be on compared to other players that he's being compared to. Tatum has a career average of Eastern Conference Final. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka is like a second, third round exit. Like he has made Eastern Conference Final majority of his career, or second round. Like
That's fair.
SGA
But
is
I would also,
like a
in
first
Shai's
round exit.
defense, that was his first playoff as a first option, and his stats were slightly down, but still played really well. Played like a top 10 player. So I think the Thunder will make. I mean, it would be a huge collapse if they don't make a minimum conference finals here. And I think they will make the finals. No team really.
I hope so.
No one else in the West is showing up to me. Like, shout out to the Rockets and the Grizzlies. I don't really see them as huge threats. I would take the Thunder over them every single time.
See,
And
this
it's
is the thing.
7 right now.
I would.
I mean, your closest threat, honestly, is if the Nuggets keep going up and they face the Thunder in the conference finals. But
The thing is, you don't want to see the Rockets or the Grizzlies in the first round. I think they're gonna slope downwards. You don't want to catch one of those
the
teams in the
problem is,
first
yeah, they're
round.
second and third. So
But if
yeah,
one of say Nuggets go up and a couple teams go up and Grizzlies drop down to like playing, like that's a team where it's like if I'm OKC, I do not want to play the Grizzlies first round because that's one of those ones where Triple J has his average 30, Jaw averages 25, and they win the series, but then they're gonna lose second round. I think they overperform early. But again,
eh,
it's very like I think
Jaw even plays anymore. He's injured every 3 games.
you don't
Kind
want
of
to
a
see
damn shame.
Grizzlies first round. You don't want to see like I
Well,
think
you don't want to see because the thing between the second and the 11th seed, they're all like you don't want to see teams.
like
So there's definitely chances for upsets in the first round for the West. 'Cause
OKC is
you're gonna have playing teams like Clippers, Suns, Timberwolves. These are still good teams, even if they've had fuck ups here and there.
hey dude,
They're still good players and good teams.
This is my thing. Mavs could drop into playing without Luca being here
If
and
Luka's out for a while, they're free falling.
Kyrie
Good
and
luck.
Luca. They could be a playing team. And they could catch OKC first round, and I'm saying Luca back fully healthy after sitting out for 40 games, and Kyrie sitting out 20 games. If they come back and play first round versus OKC, that's a team where you can't sleep on them because I'm a Mavs hater, but Mavs match up very well versus OKC.
Every single day, there's multiple standing changes in the West, so it's hard to predict. But the Mavericks are beat the hell up right now, so they're 5th seed. They've dropped 2 spots in the last 7 days. Yeah,
I think
by
they're
the end of the
free
month,
falling.
by the end of the month, they're going to be an 8th, 9th seed.
Yeah, and I think once Kyrie and
They're only
Luka
2
back,
games up on the 9th seed. So
Luka will be back within 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Kyrie and
will be
Luka
back.
Mavericks looked like a top 3 seed.
And that's what I'm saying. When they come back, it's like that's a team you don't want to see in the first round. And it's like if they're a playing team and OKC has to play the Mavs first round, you could see a repeat of last year. I'm not saying I want OKC. This is my thing. I want to see OKC make the finals, and I want to see Celtics make the finals because then there's no excuse of like, oh they just OKC would have won if they made the finals over the Celtics, or Celtics would have won the finals if they made it. Those teams need to match up in the finals to end the debate.
I think it'll happen. I'm still predicting that'll be the finals.
Oh, I hope so. Because
it'll be a good one.
It needs to happen. It would be it would have to be like an all-time rating type of finals. Like that is a.
You'd hope so. I mean, these are the 2 best teams. I mean, I don't know. I shout to the Cavs, but still, It's either Celtics or Thunder based on what you say. I'd say right now the Thunder, and then Celtics, and then Cavs are my top 3 performers this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, Celtics Thunder to me is a 7-game series. I would give it to the Celtics, give them the edge, because they proved themselves as winners.
Yeah.
But I would not be if the Thunder beat the Celtics in the finals. I wouldn't be like, what?
Yeah, it'd be a good.
It'd be good. It'd be a good matchup.
Unless it was like a blowout, then I'd be kind of like.
No, if either team won in like 4 or 5, I'd be like, all right.
But then again, like, what happens if the Celtics like win in like 5? Like, what's the thing then? Like, what if Celtics win in 5 or OKC wins in 5? What, like, I don't even know how to react. I'd be disappointed.
It'd be disappointed. If the Celtics won, it'd be like, all right. I guess the Thunder weren't really. I mean, they made the finals, but they weren't really ready. On an individual level, you'd have to see how they play. Would it be everybody letting SGA down, or would he shit himself? On the other hand, if the Thunder won in 5, it'd be like, holy shit, they're gonna run this place for 10 years. Like, these are freaks. Celtics would be talking about, all right, blow it up. Your guards are old. Porzingis is not a winning player. There'd be a lot of talk about stuff like that.
That happens every year though, so it is what it is.
At least they win, so you can hear about it. But like, who cares? Well,
let's do that tier list, I guess.
Shall we do the tier list then?
There's not much else to talk about, to be honest. Like, it's a slow news week.
The lay of the land. Aaron Wiggins. Shout out Aaron Wiggins. That's all. One thing I'll say.
Jason Wallace as well, great defender. Matched up
great
very
bench.
well versus
underrated bench on the Thunder. Everybody's like SGA, so underrated bench, top 5 bench. All right. Here's our fun.
They might be top 2. They might be number 1 bench. I don't know if there's any team better than.
Wizards. But all right, so. Our fun tier list. I got the NBA City jerseys this year. Well described as being boring and overall shit. So I thought, you know what, this would be fun. An NBA tier. Oh, I was on my porn.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
All right, first one. Blue Hawks. We had the white Hawks with the blue stripe.
I feel like it doesn't resemble the colors at all.
And I think it's some retro thing, but it's boring. I don't really care. It's like a C tier for me. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't really care too much. So I'm like, all right, fine. Celtics. I've heard some Celtics fans not like these too much.
Dude,
they don't like the highlighter lime green.
1 second, because I have last year's.
Let me see it.
Or not last year, but the year before. I have both.
You know, this guy can't hear me right now.
Unironically,
this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know basketball. It's embarrassing. All right, welcome back.
I don't know what you said, but look, year, this was 2 years ago or last year.
That's a damn good jersey.
This one, smooth. It's like it's
simple, but it's slick. It looks good.
But this is like the embroidery and stuff. And then you have this year. I got a Tatum jersey. It's just like it's more like rec. I don't even understand. It's like a rec center. Like this is so simplified compared to last year.
It's kind of It's kind of
I don't like it. I like the jersey. Like I like having the
It follows the trend of like how like every modern brand's like really dumbing down their logo.
Yeah,
they just drew on it with highlighter and said Celtics.
Unironically, I'd put this in C. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a C tier. There's gonna be a lot of. I mean, these aren't great.
I don't think a single one's gonna be past C. To be honest, we might get a B in here.
There's a few in here that I think are cool, but this is a bad. Let me make a D tier real quick.
Maybe just take out. Okay, yeah.
Because I think there's some D tiers in here. Speaking of, I think this is a D tier. The Brooklyn. It's a bit hard to see, but it's the Brooklyn urban print, urban camo. The font's kind of cool style.
Again, their last year's was so cool. The or not maybe the one where like Friends logo. I don't even watch Friends, but it's that one, the Friends New York logo.
This one kind of tried to go for it, but like didn't.
They
camos.
Sold. They need to bring throwback jerseys back.
C tier is boring. D tier is actively now we're getting bad. I think this is D tier. I think this is a bad jersey.
You put it in F.
You want to go F?
Well, you put it in F.
No, I'm trying to blow it up so you can see it better. Just to like focus on it, but I think D tier, honestly.
Okay.
Charlotte.
I don't mind it. It's just bland.
I think they're solid. I like the color.
Yeah, that was my thing. I like the color. It's still bland, but it's like.
Considering what it's up against, I think it breaks into B tier.
It have to be because this is the problem. They're just not. None of them are good. None of the jerseys are good this year.
Actually, I like the color. all this is a solid color, so that's all you can
Yeah.
go off of, and I like the color, so that's about it. Um,
This might be the first F tier. This is a stinker. We can skip past that one.
I don't know what was going on there, and that's all I'll say about that.
Which one's that?
Cleveland.
Again, I don't get
I
the
don't know why
color
it's-
swaps.
all this is blue, by the way. This is all blue and purple, but
Yeah,
Cavs blue.
it looks like a UNC jersey.
It says
almost, like-
land, like Cleveland. It just says land, so that's stupid as shit. That's F tier for me
Okay.
as well. I think it's garbage. I like these. I like
The-
these Mavs
the
ones.
Dallas one.
Here, I'll blow it up. Yeah, I like the thing. I think the font's cool. It's simple. It's white. I think they're slick though.
They're
I caught a game live where they were using them, and I'm like, oh wait, these look good.
Again, C
I
or
think they're B
B.
tier.
C or B. I don't really care. Put it either.
All right,
What the hell is that?
these are the Nuggets ones, and it says 5280 because you're 5,280 miles or 80 feet is a mile, so it's like the mile high thing for Denver. So they just have a number on top of your number, and then some like Zoo Pals imagery over here on the side.
This is rough. This is very rough.
Yeah, so easy F tier, worst one yet.
Yeah.
You have 2 numbers on a jersey. What you would? It's kind of cool. I kind of like the Pistons ones. Little throwback
Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah.
with the font here.
I'm not afraid of putting that in B.
2 with the red. Yeah, that's a good trim. I might be doing this one yet, honestly. I kind of like that one the most. Golden State, the Warriors one.
That's not bad either. I'd put it like bottom of B or top of C.
I like the color. They're good. The font's kind of like weird, but I'm kind of messing with the color. I'd go top of C.
The next one's H-Town, the Houston one. I
H-Town.
like these one. Is that what
Kind
it
of
is?
fire.
I do like this one.
Kind of fire. Are we thinking A? I think
This
it
might be
A.
the first A. I actually
font's
did like
cool.
this one.
H-Town. It's got like a cool nickname without being corny, like the fucking 5280 thing or the land thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed
like
to putting that in A.
I'm going A. How not to do that, however, is the next one.
That
With this
Indy.
weird ass. Indy. I think this is average.
Yeah. Bottom
The
of
number and
C
the-
or top of D.
I'll go D. I think that's a D. Clips, it looks exactly like the Indy one, just blue.
Yeah,
just
it's
says
so
clips and it's
pointless,
blue.
Man.
There's
so
nothing there.
pointless.
It just says the word clips and it's blue. I'm putting that in F, personally. That's what I do. We got Lake Show.
It's just like C tier. It's just like it's
It's
so
not bad, but it's just a
basic,
Lakers.
man.
It's just a Lakers jersey again. They did nothing different. And Lake Show's
They-
kind of corny.
Literally just changed Lakers on their other city jersey and just wrote Lake Show. That's all
They
they
just
changed.
wrote Lake Show. Nothing changed. I think Lake Show's kind of goofy. I'd put this bottom C. I'll give them C. But I think bottom C is fair. Then we got the Grizzlies. I kind of don't know how to feel about these. You got the. I'll put it at the end of F here.
I
You got the
think-
font. You get like the old school font, but they're blood red.
I think the
look-
colors are throwing me off so much.
It's like a good jersey for the wrong team.
Yeah, if like this was like a Miami Heat jersey, it'd look normal, you know, or maybe not Miami
Coming up.
Heat.
The hilarious jersey coming up. I think it's a C tier just because like
Yeah.
the colors are like, what do you? Maybe there's like a throwback thing, but I just don't.
Yeah, maybe I'm just missing out on the like. I don't know.
These are considered bad. We're actually being kind of friendly.
Yeah,
Like, most
this
people
is
put
like
these
the
in D.
worst year of jerseys
they're
I've
bad.
seen.
Heat culture.
This might be
You
F.
have a blood red, no fonts, no accents. It just is the Heat logo and then the word culture and like Arial font, and that's it.
This is a stinker. This is on the same level of when they put on their court and it was like hardest working, best team, and then they
Hardest.
like lost first
The Heat
lost
are
first
so-
round,
The Heat are so corny, man.
bro.
Hard F.
I don't
Is it
mind these
worse than
Bucks
the Denver
ones.
Nuggets one?
Oh, my bad.
Bucks are solid. Bucks are solid. Like the blue, I'm going A.
I wouldn't mind this in a green, maybe like if it was like their actual green colored jersey.
That green and purple one, like the old school one.
Yeah, but no, this is solid. It'd be.
Want to go B? Gotcha.
I put it bottom of B though.
Bottom B. All right.
I like the Mavs
I'll
one.
put over
better still.
Mavs.
Nope.
Over Mavs.
I kind of like the Mavs one. Yeah, it don't really matter. I
Giannis
don't
is
like the
fine.
Timberwolves. You can drop Timberwolves down. I don't like the Timberwolves one.
Timberwolves like it was going to be a cool jersey, and then turned like into the Sonny ad.
They messed it up.
That's a D.
What is
The
this?
next one is the next one. Now it's just a Knicks jersey,
Yeah,
but they just made the font like triple itself, and it's kind of hard to read. So for me, it's a D tier. It's boring,
yeah.
and they made it worse than the original. The
I
Knicks
don't
jersey,
know.
it's a classic jersey, but yeah. Then you have the the Pelicans one
I
with the
don't mind this one, but
R.L. Stein color
it's still
scheme.
like a D. I think the colors throw it off for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. D. It's better than Timberwolves. Thunder. Looks like the
Actually,
Hawks jersey.
that's my. I was about to say. I thought this was the Hawks at first.
Yeah, it just says Oklahoma.
This literally looks like the normal Atlanta Hawks jersey. Like
Red trim.
that is the normal Atlanta Hawks jersey.
Yeah, I'm not really like into it. Another D tier to me. Not F, but
Yeah, that's rough. That's
I'll just
I don't get these.
Magics are good.
I do like the Magic.
I like the logo a lot. The white, some color would be cool, like a little blue action, but their originals are blue, so I think A tier.
I wouldn't mind A tier.
I think A tier. Shout out, man.
Shadow Sixers, I do like the
Sixers.
Sixers. I think it's like their
Slick.
normal jersey, but it's like it's
It's got the old school font, bit of a retro callback. They're keeping it simple, but they're not fucking it up too much.
this would be
Good.
bottom of B tier for me.
Yeah, B tier there. Raptors, no, that's the Suns. Sorry, that's what a purple. It says the Valley. You have this weird off-center misshapen star, and then a jersey number in it, and it's purple.
No, if that was a Raptors jersey, it'd probably be fire. If that was the same exact thing, but like the Raptor instead of a star, and it said
It'd pretty much be it. Yeah. So we'll go F. Actually, that kind of pisses me off.
that Rip
The
City,
Blazers.
I do like the Blazers. I like their thing. Rip City's kind of.
Rip City's
I
cool.
Like
I would give this a C just because it's kind
yeah,
of boring.
I agree with that, but
So that goes in the boring tier.
I do like the Rip City thing. I don't know.
Kings one's kind of hard.
Yeah,
I
again,
actually quite like the King.
I don't like understand the colors, but it's not a bad jersey.
Maybe it's because recently I saw like the old Kings colors, and it was this. It was like the blue
Okay.
white red thing.
Okay.
So this is it's like a throwback, but it's a modern touch.
Okay.
I think it looks slick. I'd give it a B. I'm a
Fair,
fan of this one.
fair.
But that's just I know like I just saw recently like for some reason I saw a throwback game. It pretty much was those. Then we got the Spurs.
Now the thing
Baby
is
Blues. These are
I
not terrible.
like this jersey, but it looks almost identical to the Grizzlies throwback jersey.
It looks a lot. It looks to a lot like these. Just a lot of light blues and blues this year. Not much color.
Let me see if I can. Does that not look exactly like the? Okay, one second. Let me see if I can pull this thing. That is basically the same exact jersey. Same trim,
Yeah,
same like
the trim is what gets it. The color is one thing, but the trim is.
the trim is almost the same. Like I don't get the like
It-
mixing of.
It'd be a fun jersey, but it's just.
It's
yeah,
basically a
party foul.
Grizzlies jersey. Yeah, that's my problem. It's like they all
thinking
look
high
like
D
a.
or low?
Ugh.
High D or low C.
I like the colors. I'd put it high C or low C.
I'll go to Lakers. It should,
Again,
yeah, no.
it's the colors are what I love. This Raptor. I love the Raptor. I love the old school Raptor. I don't like the colors, but I love the old school Raptor. I like
yeah,
man.
it's a shame it's like all like there's not much like purple or touch to it. I'd go high B
Yeah, I'd put
just
it.
because the color was kind of a letdown.
I'd put it behind the Kings jersey, above Mavs,
Gotcha.
right in the center.
If I gotta pick a winner, which means the S tier, I'm going Utah.
Yeah, Utah is kind of cold. I like Utah.
I think these are banger. And
Looks
none
like
of
the
these
only
are,
one to actual effort.
None of these are S tier.
But it also looks exactly like the All Star jersey from that year.
yeah. And I'd say that the best one is the S tier. Would you say this is the best one?
Yeah, probably.
I was putting there. Shout out to Utah. And then you got the Pistons, which is it says let me blow it up. District 13. No, that's the Wizards. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say weird did Pistons.
The Wizards District 13.
You can
It's
drop
like
that
this
into its own tier. Just drop that all the way down in its own tier and just have.
We'll put it at a reasonable D minus. No, it's boring. It's F. And that is your horrendous 24-25 NBA City jerseys. Some of the worst work yet.
Yeah, they've
And
got to go back to like.
I'm being friendly because a lot of these B's are C's and so on and so forth. So
We need to go back to like when, like again, like OG, like when there was like the Grizzlies had like the grizzly bear on it, and it's like the
yeah,
Raptors had the raptor on it. Like
there is
the
only
old school Magic jerseys were just more
there
effort.
is one single jersey with something other than just a word and a number, and that's the Raptors jersey. There are no logos, no flair. It's just team number.
Dude, the old school Grizzlies, Wolves, and Raptors jerseys, they bring them all back. Like they're all so fire. The thing
NBA's
is like
presentation. We've said this about the ratings thing, but the presentation is just
that's what I'm saying. It's like when you're like even like the courts for like the finals or like the scoreboard, they've minimized and it looks worse. It's unpleasant to watch the product when everything is minimalized and looks worse.
yeah. I mean, the game's got to be fun, but that stuff matters to me.
Like yeah, that's what I'm
Jerseys,
saying. Like
it's fun. It's part of the game.
like having the scoreboard have a little bit of flair to it, like that helps. Like when I'm seeing, it used to be like, okay, the Celtics versus the Lakers. Now it's like BOS versus C for B versus LA. Like
Yeah.
it's just ruining it. It's ruining it. Like the presentation is so awful.
But
Like
that's your dog shit jerseys ranking.
well, low key podcast. Not much to talk about this week.
We kept it chill, man. You know how we do. You
Yeah,
know?
we're gonna have some planned, hopefully eventful podcasts soon coming up here. We'll have some
Your
actual
cousin's out of prison?
themes, so we shall see how that goes. But
Your cousin's out of prison soon.
that was your cousin, but mine's still 25 years alive.
Sorry.
But we're gonna end it there. We are going to call it quits there. You know, I've been Marvin Motion. That's Melvin Motion. Margaret over there, and Marquise is with him, and he's editing in the background. Over there.
Margaret will start on OnlyFans at 1,000 subs.
Stay tuned. But
That's all I'll
yeah,
say.
I mean, that's all. We will be back next week for the 17th consecutive week in a row. Peace.
Episode 93 coming soon.
Exactly. 217. Straight.
Little
Bro fist.